Honey Bunch. I've done this before. It was kind of an elevator pitch, but maybe for an hour or two. I lived in Harwood Heights, which is another part of Illinois. It's a city. Excuse me. I'm sorry again. I'm still struggling with getting my voice back up to par. Maybe it needs to be deep because normally I speak with a very high pitch, and I love it. But now it's a little deeper. However, a bit raspy. Growing up for me, I'm hearing someone say something. Welcome to Vera's Road Report. And keep it in mind, I don't know. Normally I think rogue means like somebody goes off script, which I guess that's what it is. Someone that's insane. And I don't try and go by the newer definitions because we grew up with a more uncut, untouched version of definitions. Now I'm looking like I don't remember that. I don't know. So rogue normally makes somebody that kind of goes off script, goes off on their own. Y'all like my nails? I just got them done. The lady was so excited. I'm thinking I'm meeting trillionaires, and do I really want glitter at the tip of my nail? I'm so excited. It's like, man, I'm gonna meet trillionaires. I don't necessarily think I want Disney glitter at the tip of my nail, but who's looking at her, right? I wanted something a little bit more conservative, but she was having such a tickle fest fun day of doing what she wanted to do. She's like, isn't that pretty? Somebody like there was an upper, well, I'm 51. I'm not necessarily in the let it go phase. I don't think I'll fit the Tinkerbell outfit this girl. I don't listen. So I like the old clumpy, just silver. And so she kind of wiped the thing down, getting the attitude out, and then just go throw silver by itself without the color. But I'm like, this lady is nuts. Like here, you see blue and glitter, literally glitter with color in it. Then she then actually did this all silver. It has a little color, but it's more than silver, which is what I wanted anyway. And I really didn't want white on it. I'm like, you just doing what you want to do. It's really pretty. But I didn't freaking pay for that. So I was like, whatever, just don't go back to her. It's not a big deal. It's cute. But like I said, there was a look that I wanted in the event I meet some trillionaires like myself, my fellow group. Okay. So growing up for me, and this is Vera's Road Report. You might not like me, but I'm adorable. I don't care. And very attractive. So, growing up for me was very fanciful. I was looking at a lady describe it to me how I grew up. It's amazing. Or just people saying how people grow up that they've never met just by sitting and listening and having an assessment and then discussing it about what they think or what their open view of what you said was. Thanks for that consideration. Okay. So, whoever she's talking to, I listen to that stuff and I'm thinking, that's cute. Because all you really hear is you're fabulous. And yes, we want to be like you. We want to tell your story. You are so cool. I get it. But I don't know who they're talking to. But I think God made a good thing when he made the child. So, again, growing up for me, I was surrounded by class and glamour and things of that nature. And I carry that. It's not a trophy or anything. I just chose to understand that we're all human on the same planet. And we all have goals and dreams as mothers, as daughters. You want your parents to say, good job, I love you. Whether you do good or bad, you want your parents to love you and embrace you. But it's nice when they can say, hey, thank you for that house. Good job. You really, really did some things with your life. You really want to hear that. I ain't gonna kill myself trying to do that. But it is something I would have loved to have done. Now, I think I've already achieved this several times over, and I probably never will hear anybody say, good job. You know what? I always believe in you. You be on it, girl. I don't care what nobody say. You be on it. Nobody's ever said I got your back. I got you, girl. A minute. It's okay, though, because God is there. And that's what you need. So, seeing the world of soap operas, all the glamour people at work, at home, making money, doing designs on clothes, designing jewelry, designing properties and homes and buying land. And they had so many things going on in these soap operas. You didn't necessarily get into the nicks and cranny of a lot of it. But you understood that the family that wrote these TV shows were actually wealthy people in California. And I grew up with them about TV. Channel 2, couple channels, but we had Dallas. I didn't really remember that too much. There was enough Knots Landing. We had Dynasty for sure. We had several shows. Again, soap operas for sure. Not a lot of them, but I embraced what they were wearing. The jewelry, the hairstyles, you didn't see a lot of cars. You never really saw them outside the house. It was always in the theater. Very rarely did you see the scene outside. It was probably hard to get the right lighting with the sun and being out in the nature of the thing, But they mastered it a few times. And I was like, wow, it's different because you always see them in the studio acting. Let's see. So seeing that they were making money, and literally, these were people that were literally outside of the theater doing stuff, recording their life from what I hear. And in some aspects, they would actually take their real life stories and made them storylines. And a soap opera, and I'm like, that's funny. Because again, the family actually were the people that owned the TV show, that had other actors that could act out their own lives. I don't know, but that's what I'm getting. But it was several spin-offs because these people, I think, were somehow related. So they actually had 2 shows back to back where one family showed their bit and they showed how the other family would link into them as if it was just sensational to me to see that. I don't know. So you had the more homely group. Then you had that not ritzy, but that gotcha, group, And I was like, wow, because it was always kind of like really, I guess it was the music. Like one was, the other was, they had the horn, they were popping, so you always kind of saw them as more fast speed. The other was more like the real drama. I don't know. It was like one was really dramatic and the other one was more like pop lock, here we go, sock hop time. I don't know, it was just, maybe it was the music that introduced it. That's just my young assessment being a child watching this stuff. It was very entertaining to me to see these people glamorize drama. It just was. I loved it. I don't care what nobody says. I loved it. Looking at these women dressed up doing barely nothing all day but rich time. Honey, please. But it was always a man that was liking some young girl and he married her and took her off the pole and off the chair. She's a maniac. Made her rich, then broke her heart. Then she got some empowerment with all that money he gave her. Then he tried to control her with the money. And she's like, how dare you try and control me? I'm grown. And he put the clap on her and lock her down. She put the cuffs on. She's like, I got your money. I'll try for a few more days. I don't think it's right, but I like the lifestyle. Still popular, find some friends within the chaos. Maybe have some kids. Maybe so they one man to have a night, and then the husband finds out, well, if you weren't so mean, I need some freedom. I need a personality. I need my own identity. You have to loosen the reins. Begging for freedom. But anyway, seeing that you could achieve glamour, business, family, they didn't make it look easy. They didn't make it look hard. It was there. I just kept that in mind. That people can look good at home while they're at work and make babies and have fun and be rich. But then I jumped over to the TV channel. These people living just as great, if not better. What in real life? Oh, and they got God. God did this. I tell you, God. And I'm looking like, did they use God to do what they got over here on the soap opera? So I said, well, I could put them together. Glamorously godly. What? So, every time I look at somebody got my stuff, she'll get another one. She's so blessed. She'll get another one. She don't need it. We need it. She don't need it. Had to stop buying real gold and silver stuff. Somebody's like, And I used to wonder why I would see women with like 30 real rings and 45 bracelets. That's all stuff they accumulated over the years. And if you put it down long enough, trying to take you a good bath, you ain't gonna have it. So they just keep them on. That's not something. I used to try to figure out why you see women with all them 3, 4, 5 rows of earrings. Because if you take them off, you ain't gonna see them. You must keep them on. So, looking at the gospel world and the glamour world, secular gospel, the gospel world was living really lavish. And people ignorantly would say they're stealing, they're misappropriating, they're not doing something righteous, church people shouldn't have money. And my idea was, why not? What? The church people are creating. And God told them to be creative, be blessed, be chosen. You don't have to be glitzy. But if you choose to have nice things, is that a crime? Is that wrong? I don't really like this hair color, but I knew it was different. Is it a crime? Is it godly? Probably not. It's not my natural color. All this embellishment. Is it right? Probably not. Probably not. Do I need it this big? No, but I do it for social media. I know you can buy a smaller one, but I haven't been able to do my cameras yet. Like at home, how people have a camera set up, they can just click on, or they have a position where when they add their phone or whatever to it, it's always that way. I don't have that yet. I could, I guess, but I could, but I haven't gotten the space in order for all that. And people like to run back there and go through all my stuff. And most likely that stuff will come up broken, missing. So I haven't set anything up like that. I just kind of do my thing. But I had decided that I will put the two together. And like I said, I'm looking at these secular people putting things together, having pretty good lives, being creative, which is what God gave the church. But then when I looked at all these people, it was T.D. Jakes. He's very creative, very talented. If you look at Creflo Dollar, all of these people that are creative. They've written books. They are very masterful in delivering their services. They have years of experience. I'm sure they had great role models or inspiration by God. It's so many. Juanita Bynum. There were a lot of women. Is it Paula White? I think she has a new last name, different last name. There's a bunch. Oh God, there's so many in the church that I can name. I can't pull it now. That I grew up with: Creflo, Kenneth Copeland, Kenneth Hagin, T.D. Jakes, Juanita Bynum. There's a lot of people. And they all come here to Chicago. That's how we all sit in the same rooms. And they will be giving out the listen. You can call these meetings if you want. I call them billionaire club meetings. I'm serious. If you put into action with these people we're talking, See, I've been implementing what they said. They're teaching us. They have a school now, right here in Illinois. You go to the school and they will show you exactly, walk you through the steps and show you how to literally put into fruition in real life, licensed, bonded, insured, everything. Your idea, your business. They will show you how to do it because they've done it. And they're literally giving you the blueprint and have trained others, or others have implemented it and they're showing others how to do it. They're teaching others. I mean, there's no. So I actually was in there and I could obtain what they were saying while I was there. I didn't have to go to the school. And people blocked it. Like, how is she doing? I'm sitting in there with all these billionaires. What do you mean? Tudor Bismarck. So many over the years. There's some newer people that came. I haven't seen them that much. But these people will come every year since probably the 90s, 2000s. And they will just show us and talk to us and just feed us. And I was eating it up. I was taking notes and somebody took them. And that's what they're talking about. Somebody kept stealing all my stuff, all my papers, all my notes. And they're implementing them into their own sermons. And it's masterful. The stuff that I learned. Those were notes. So it's really plagiarized. But they don't stop you. They told you to use them as an example. And that's what we did. So the notes that somebody's plagiarizing now using, the reason why nobody probably said, hey, you're stealing, because somebody knows they stole my notes. They're all gone. And somebody just went through all my stuff. I even wrote a book, like somebody took it over to Paris. Put it in French. Off of Amazon. I kept trying to figure out how somebody stole my book off of Amazon. Then I had a manuscript that I was writing, very short little book, and it's called Building Nations, and that disappeared. It wasn't finished, but it disappeared. So the way this works for the people that are slow, because I heard they got caught. They don't even know what they're talking about. They just stole it and put it on the market. People were like, oh, explain it. I was like, well, how did you get this? Because it ain't theirs. So basically, when you hear books that register with you, like the guy that was taking these manuscripts and all these things that I wrote, Sly, I forget this, I think it's a parent. That story might relate to him and his family, only because he knows street stuff. They were raised in a street environment. So he could easily take that model, of, if you read it, Sly Stone, Sly Malone, I like a pen story, Sly Rock, whatever it was, Sly Stallone, whatever the case, he could read that book and probably relate to it, and write one about himself, but with his own information, his own story, his own autobiography. That's what it is. Putting your own story with your own spin on it does not present. Because there's nothing more than this. Really not. Really not. Music, nothing. I mean, you might get a sound that people don't remember, but how people really with it a long time. Pretty much it's been done before. So you have to borrow from the past. You have to refresh it. Edit. Semi-duplicate. You got to put your own spin on it. So, that was good. Anyway, so